Look, a device's first impression is important, and many people rush in to watch or read the reviews of whatever they're interested in so that they can make a better and more informed purchase. More often than not though, just like how a new relationship can be sweet and exciting, what's usually more important is how that relationship changes given enough time. It's precisely because of this that I am taking a look at the Mobvoi Ticwatch E again, and more importantly, 1 year later, here I am to share my experiences with you. Okay, so I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I'm going to start off by saying that to call my relationship with the watch rosy and hiccup-free would be an overstatement. I had my fair share of frustrations with it, with things like the watch somehow from time and time again disconnecting from the phone, meaning that I stopped getting all notifications on the watch, performance that seemed to degrade over time a little, that led to a rather choppy experience, and due to this really silly swipe left and right gesture on the home screen that changes between my watch faces, my default preferred watch face keeps changing when there's any accidental contact with the screen. So I'm going to be real and say that all of these experiences are really enough to sour my relationship with the watch. But then Android Wear rebranded itself to Wear OS, and along with that came the new update of Wear OS 2.1. So you want to know something about that update? You know all of those complaints that I just mentioned earlier? Well, Wear OS 2.1 pretty much fixes all of them. It rolled out in early October, and you know what? In the months that I've been using the new firmware, I stopped getting random disconnects. Performance improved to levels even better than when I first got the watch, and they got rid of that silly gesture that changes the watch face. And as a nice added bonus as well, I noticed that the battery life was significantly better after the update, with my battery usage now going up to about 16 hours of usage time, where it would only be able to last maybe about a day before. I do have complaints about this update though. For some reason, and I don't know why, it's not system integrated. This means that every time you change your phone or reset your phone, which is pretty often for me since I mess around with my phone's ROM a lot, you have to disconnect and reset your watch each time, and each time after you do that, it rolls back all the way to version 1.7. Look, I have no idea why Mobvoi doesn't just bake it into the system partition, so yeah, it's really quite an annoyance. But you know what, enough about that. Let's talk more about Wear OS 2.1 then. It brings about some nice quality of life changes, as I've mentioned before, with things like swiping from the left to open up the Google Assistant page of sorts, similar to that of their Pixel launchers. A swipe from the right now opens up the fitness menu. Swipes from the top now open up a slightly revamped layout with a new battery saving shortcut. And finally, swipes from the bottom that now allow you to go through a list of notifications at a time rather than one at a time before, with the option to expand them by tapping on them and the ability to reply either with, predictive text or composing your own messages. Let's talk about physicality, because this watch has kinda exceeded my expectations. I can honestly and somewhat shamefully say that I've had some pretty hard knocks while having it on, and these are all knocks that have made me worried that I might have just broken off the watch's hinges, but nothing of the sort happened. In fact, the watch still looks pretty good, given that it's a year old and has been tossed around quite a bit. And you know what? I'm absolutely not recommending this, but I have actually taken off the watch and put it under a sink with soap a couple of times, and each time it has escaped unaffected. I stress again that I absolutely do not recommend you do this. There's one thing that I did change though, and that is the straps. Don't get me wrong, they didn't break or anything. In fact, they're still holding up really well, but they started to develop a bit of that shine and glisten from all that wear and tear, and so you might have noticed already that I swapped them out with a compatible 20mm Milanese style metal watch strap in black. And I gotta say that I think it looks pretty good, so yeah. It's not as if nothing broke though. One thing did break, though that's not really of Mobvoi's fault. Yeah, so let me tell you a story. While staying over at a friend's place, his nice little roller chair accidentally ended up on the magnetic charging head of my cable, and lo and behold, it broke apart. But I just got myself a bit of super glue, put it back together, and it's working beautifully even after that. Aside from that, I never had any troubles charging my watch either, because unlike my previous watch, the Zen Watch 2, the charging head is still as magnetic as ever, that I can just drop my watch onto it with a bit of mild aim and it will snap into place, no problem. So yeah, my experiences with the watch after reviewing it the first time started to gradually go a bit meh, until it went back to being awesome again from the Wear OS update. And given that I pretty much wear the watch daily, use it to transcribe my voice into messages for when my hands aren't free, quickly look things up on Google from time to time as well, and well, I'm maybe ashamed or not ashamed to say it, but now that Pokemon Go syncs with Google Fit coupled with the watch, it has really given me a bit of more incentive to walk and move around to hatch my eggs. I guess what I'm trying to say is this then. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the watch, and you know what? If you're looking to pick one up for yourself, I'd say, why not? After all, you'd be coming in at the best time after all, or if not most, of the kinks have been ironed out. Of course, it's my first time doing a follow-up video, but if you liked it and found it helpful, give it a like, share it maybe, and if you like the content that I make, you can support me by subscribing to the channel and staying notified with the bell icon. My name is Yang, aka Tech Rodent, and I will catch you guys in the next one.